With so much of modern production agriculture built on precision technology, it can be easy to forget that technology hasn't always been with us. Max Armstrong recently had a chance to be part of a historical dedication marking a unique piece of Ag's history.
It was 30 years ago, Mike. 30 years ago this year that the first patent for development of the Combine Yield Monitor was registered. A few days ago, the inventors were honored in northern Illinois for their achievement with the placement of a historic marker not far from the city of DeKalb, Illinois.
We didn't intend to do something, earth-shaking or breakthrough. We were just trying to make our farms more efficient. That was our whole objective.
Dave Larson recalled for me how the government helped pave the way all those years ago for the innovations we now commonly use and take for granted by allowing for the first time reception of the satellite signals that permitted us to know precisely our location.
We realized that we were working on the mapping system, and we had an idea how you might measure yield in the field. And so we put some pieces in place and we measured flow, but it was when GPS became available and we realized that it could be accessible to somebody other than the military. And we sat there and dreamed about, boy, if we could take the position and the yield, it's the start of just a whole revolution in how you do things in the field.
Jim Stoddart was a Case IH executive back in the day, and he shared with us how they realized that the data coming from farm fields had such great potential to improve farming.
People were staring at these yield maps and not really sure what all the little dots and colors meant. But at least the way I always explained it was the beginning of taking these really big pieces of farm equipment that were getting bigger and bigger and putting microelectronic control systems on them so you could actually control and make sure the seed you were planting went in the ground, the fertilizer you were putting on, you were getting your money's worth, and finally you were able to measure it. But it all started with Steve and Dave. Again, it's just these couple guys, a lot of energy came into the group, and then we built an organization around it, and it was a great experience.
Co-inventor Steve Faber, also honored for his work on the Combine Yield Monitor, who, like Dave Larson, was the product of a northern Illinois farm, says there is more that can yet be done.
What are the characteristics going across the field? This shows up, particularly in wheat, that one part of the field will have a condition in wheat that's really great for pastries and things like that. In the same variety in another spot, the characteristics won't be conducive to that. And so there were some companies that started doing protein sensing and things like that and mapping it in addition to the to the yield. But I don't think that's continued down that path completely.
And as for what this lean and quite mean farm economy could do to the inventiveness and creativity we've seen, such as that brought forward by these gentlemen 3 decades ago, I asked Steve Faber if farm incomes, depressed so low now, could have a chilling effect on the advances going forward.
I think in some instances it actually stimulates innovation because people are looking at it and say, well, this isn't working, what can we do?
An interesting observation by Steve Faber that these challenging times may in fact foster more advancement, bringing it out of the agriculture community and those who support it. Mike?
Thank you, Max, for filling us in. That is an important piece of Ag's history, and it will be interesting to see where these innovations developed today take us in 30 years.